good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are connecting from. Thank you for joining this live. Mm, Okay, all right. How has your day been? Okay, let me just adjust. Okay, so welcome to another episode of the Monday Night Live session. And please comment with your name and where you are connecting from. So I can just acknowledge you. And also, please help me share this link. Help me share this link on your WhatsApp status, on your Facebook story, or there are people that you want to send it to personally to join this. All right, you're welcome. Sorry for some glitches that are happening. Yep, I'm just going to give about 2 minutes because I'm seeing that no one has joined yet. So, so if you're here, just connect with comment with your name and where you are connecting from. Your name, where you're connecting from. I just want to say hi. That's all. I just want to say hi. I'm not going to bite you. I just want to acknowledge your presence. My name is okay. Your name is Miguel. All right, Miguel. Thank you for joining this live. My name is Sophia Kingsley. I was coming to that, but since you asked, my name is Sophia Kingsley. Yeah. All right. Please help me share this link on your status, your story, so that people can join in this conversation. God bless you. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Sophia Kingsley. I'm passionate about growth. That's personal growth. I'm passionate about transformation. I'm passionate about relationships. So I speak, I write on these subjects. Yeah. And then I also help people to achieve growth in their lives and to also have successful relationships, successful marriages. That's what I talk about. That's what I write about. That's what I have conversations about. Yeah. So if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please help me subscribe. Okay, I'm seeing somebody here. Nice to meet you. Is it King Carl? Oh, from Russia. Thank you for joining. God bless you. I'm from Nigeria. Yeah. Okay. So please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please help me subscribe. Like I said, I'm passionate about growth. And one of the things I want to grow is my YouTube channel. I want to get to 1K subscribers before the end of this year. I want to do that. That's a goal for me. Okay. And you can make it happen. So help me subscribe. I'm seeing Jay Sri Ram. Namaste. Oh, namaste from India. Oh, thank you so much. I'm grateful. All right. So we're going to be running very quickly because there's a lot. There's a lot on the table tonight. So this is episode 9 of the Monday Night Live sessions, and tonight we are looking at the subject of opposite sex friendships. So that is, I'm a guy or I'm a lady, and your best friend is of the opposite sex. So you're a guy, your best friend is a lady, or you're a lady, your best friend is a guy. Yes, that is what we want to talk about tonight. All right. So on this issue or subject, sorry, on this subject of opposite sex friendships, it's a very broad conversation, right? There are a lot of questions, there are a lot of issues that arise from it. There are a lot of drama sometimes. So it's a broad conversation. It's not something that 40 minutes of this live session can really capture. All right. But I trust God to, we can do the best that we can. Okay. But I feel that I'm going to have to break this up in series, just the way I broke forgiveness as a topic into three series. I'm going to have to break this one too, maybe into two or three series, just so we can get, a lot from it. All right. So tentatively, I'm going to break this into three series. The first series is the one we're having right now, and I'm going to be addressing opposite sex friendships um, between singles. That is, single people who are not in relationships. The guy is single, the lady is single, and they are best friends. That's the one I want to talk about tonight. And then the next one we'll talk about for those who are in relationships and yet they have best friends outside of their relationship. So a guy is in a relationship with a lady, but he has another lady that is his best friend, or a lady is in a relationship with a guy but her best friend is another guy, or somebody is even married and then outside of their marriage they have a best friend. So we'll treat that one in the next episode. All right, so I'm going to um break this topic rather into three, talking about single people who are not in relationships, they are best friends. Then we'll talk about those who are married or in relationship and they have best friends outside of their relationship or marriage. And then we'll talk about the third one, emotional affairs. That will be the third topic. All right, so let's just go right into what we have for this evening, talking about single people of opposite genders that are best friends, right? So let's start from the very beginning. From the beginning, yes, and that's friendship. When we are talking about best friends, the major focus is friendship. All right. Before we talk about we graduated into best friends, it started with friendship. So let's talk about friendship. What is friendship? Now, I feel that friendship is one word that, there are some certain words that in your head, you know what it means. Oh, Grace Chizoba, thank you. Says more grace. Oh, thank you. Amen. Amen. I receive it. All right. So there are certain words that we know in our minds, but we find it very hard to define or to explain. It's just like if you have Yoruba friends, there are certain things that when you hear in Yoruba, you're asking the person, what does that mean? Can you interpret it in English? And they'll tell you that this thing is only sweet in Yoruba. Like English cannot do justice to this particular statement. I don't know if you've heard that before from a Yoruba friend. Friendship is one word that you feel it more than you can explain it. If somebody asks you who is a friend now, in your mind you know who is a friend. You know the feeling you get when you think about your friend, but to actually articulate it into words can be difficult because it's a lot. A friend, is a lot of things to you. You don't know where to start, but you just know that you know who a friend is. Friendship is one word like that, all right? So, but then, however, we still need to define what friendship is. So, what is friendship? Friendship is a close mutual relationship between two or more people that is built on affection, trust, support, and shared interests and experiences. Unlike family, where the bond is established by blood, friendship is a bond that is established by choice. So, what that means is that, unlike our biological family that we are born into, we don't get to choose the families we are born into. We are just born into them, right? According to God's design. We don't get to choose and say, okay, this is the family I want to come from. No, we don't. But for friendship, um it's a bond that we establish by choice. For family, the bond is established by blood. We're related to these people by blood. But for friendships, we choose them. It's by choice that that bond is established. All right. And now we have different types or dimensions of friendship. So there are different types of friendship depending on the core of that friendship. What is at the center of that friendship? What is the core of that friendship? We want to look at that. It's not limited to these ones I'm going to mention. I'm just touching on them. All right. I'm just laying a foundation for whatever I want to discuss tonight. So, different types or dimensions of friendship. We have social friendships. All right. Now, these friendships are friendships that revolve around the enjoyment of each other's company. You enjoy each other's company. And so, because of that, you are friends. It is that activity that you both enjoy, or rather, not activity now, it is the fact that you enjoy this personality of this person. You flow, you connect. All right, there's a social event that's going on, and you both share that interest. For instance, football, right? So social friendship, you just enjoy each other's company, and because of that, friendship happens. So at the core of that relationship is that reason, is that particular event or that particular activity. Let me borrow that word, social friendship. It is centered on the fact that you enjoy this person's company. Then we have practical friendships. Now, this friendship, at the core of this friendship is mutuality or reciprocity. All right, whereby you are obligated to show up for this person. Why? Because they also show up for you. You are obligated to return a favor because they do something for you, right? That is practical friendship. So they help you solve problems, you help them solve problems. All right, meeting each other's needs. Yes, that's practical friendship. This is a dimension of friendship. You support each other, you help each other out, you show up for each other. I mean, there are people that we are not necessarily close to them. Close in the sense that maybe we sit down and we're telling them about our life story. No. But whenever we are organizing events, they are there. And whenever they are organizing events, we show up. So we just show up for each other. We help each other out, right? Practical friendship. So at the core of that friendship is reciprocity or mutuality. We just show up for each other. And then we have purpose friendships. The core of that relationship is purpose. So your purpose and my purpose, they are very similar, they are very alike. All right, you teach on relationships, I teach on relationships, and because of that, we become friends, we become close. Right, at the core of purpose friendship is purpose, because we align in certain areas, regarding our purpose. We become friends. We have situational friendships, and this can be, for example, at work. You are they group you into a team to work together with some particular set of people. Now, because of the project that you're working on, you're going to have to be situational friends. What does that mean? um if there's something to work on, they have to call you. You have to meet up. Maybe you have to have lunch together to discuss that project. So at the core of that friendship is the situation that is arising. I don't know if you get me. Situational friendship. If not for that work, if not for that project, if not for that assignment, that group work, that closeness would not exist. So we have situational friendship. We have seasonal friendships. All right. These friendships are very deep at certain seasons, and then after a season, they seem to just fizzle out. It doesn't mean they are not genuine. They are genuine, but they are seasonal. For instance, we have childhood friends that almost they were our tight, close friends when we were growing up. All right. But then life happened. This person traveled out. You went to a different place for youth service, blah, blah, blah. Something just happened and that friendship just ended. Not because it was not genuine, but because it was seasonal. A season just passes, maybe your teenhood or your teenage, it just passes and then that friendship just fizzles out. That's seasonal friendship. All right. And then we have emotional friendships. These are friendships that happen because we connect with certain people through deep conversations and through empathy. So somebody comes and then they are telling us, oh, I'm an orphan or I'm a child of a single parent. And somehow you can relate to their story because maybe you are an orphan too, or you are also you're a child from a single parent home, or there's a part of you that just relates with that person, and they have a soft spot, or you have a soft spot for them in your heart, just because you are empathizing with them. So emotional relationships, you have deep conversations. These people can get very vulnerable with you. They don't have to pretend around you. They want to cry, they cry in your presence. Emotional friendships. All right. Then we have lifelong friendships. These are friendships that survive distance, they survive seasons, they survive life changes. All right. This person has been maybe your friend right from when you were a child or you were a teenager. Now you are 60, now you are 80, they are still your friends. All right, lifelong friendships. Okay, and then um, this is where I would say emotional friendships, lifelong friendships, This is where marriage sort of falls into. Yes, because all of these friendships actually they are inside of marriage. Okay. Now it is possible for one dimension of friendship to lead to another. So, like we talked about social friendships now, or situational friendships. It is possible that both of you start out as friends because of a project that you're handling at work. So your boss decides to put you and you and you and that person in a group for you people to work together. All right. But this is 2 years down the line. Or maybe you've even been, you've resigned from that company, but the friendship between you and that person you were once teammates with, that friendship still exists. What has happened? It has moved. That friendship has transited from just situational friendships to actual, practical friendships, or to even a lifelong friendship. You understand? So one dimension of friendship can lead to another. All right. It's possible that what brought you together as friends is not that's not the reason that's keeping you. You met in church, but now you've changed church, but that person is still your friend. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, one dimension of friendship can lead to another. Oh, what area? Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. All right. Now, like I said, emotional and lifelong friendships are the deepest dimensions of friendships. Why? Because for as long as we are alive, we're going to have emotions. Quotes they cry, quotes they cry. Lifelong friendships, emotional friendships, I said they are like the deepest kind of friendship. Why? Because for as long as we are alive, we will have emotions. So those are like the deepest kinds of friendships, emotional friendships, and then lifelong friendships. And then we also have stages of friendships. So we start out as strangers, and then before you know what, we become acquaintances. I know your face, you know my face. Then we have, small talk, polite small talk. How are you finding? Is the manager around? No, the manager is not around. Ah, okay, bye. Okay, bye. And then I see you next time. I recognize your face. That's we're slowly becoming acquaintances, right? So from strangers, the next step is acquaintance. And then we have casual friends. We interact more because maybe we are in a very common space. We are working in the same place, or we are neighbors, or we are schoolmates, we are classmates. And then once in a while we interact. We talk about little stuff, about occasional, activities that happen around us, about the weather. Casual friends. There's no commitment, nothing deep going on, but we know each other, we talk, something like that. And then you graduate from casual friend to close friend. Now, your close friend is somebody that you share details of your personal life with. Okay, you trust them enough to confide in them about certain maybe struggles, or share with them certain joys. They have a level of access to you. They know certain things about you. You also know certain things about them, your close friends. So strangers, acquaintance from acquaintance, casual friends from casual friends, close friends. Now from close friends, you can now get to best friends. A best friend is somebody that is like you've upgraded them to family member. Right? They can function in that capacity. They are people that you can rely on. Okay? You can trust them to play roles that only people that are related to you by blood can actually play. You trust them to be able to function in that capacity. Okay? With these people, you are vulnerable. Vulnerable in the sense that they know your strengths, they know your weaknesses, they know some of your secrets, things that other people don't know about you, they know. You trust them enough, you're loyal to them, they're loyal to you. You have their interest at heart. If there's an opportunity, you think of them first before you think of anybody. All right. So best friends. And this is the level of friendship that we are talking about tonight. This last level of friendship, that's best friends. It's actually what we call the bestie or bestie, as we call it. All right. And so yes, let's talk about best friends, opposite sex best friends. All right. Yeah. So first half is done. I just laid foundation. What is friendship? Types or dimensions of friendship, stages of friendship. Now we have laid foundation. Let's begin to build blocks on this foundation. Let's build three-story building. All right. So block number one, opposite sex friendship. Because the question is, can a male and female be best of friends? That's what we are asking tonight. A guy is not in a relationship, a girl is not in a relationship. Both of them are best of friends. Can that happen? Number one thing I'm going to say, opposite sex friendships in themselves are not wrong. The question is, as a guy, can I have a best friend that is a lady? As a lady, can I have a best friend that is a guy? I'm saying opposite sex friendships in themselves are not wrong. They are not bad. They are not healthy. Remember, we've talked about friendship. Friendship is a relationship that is built on, affection, care, kindness, support, and then you happen to find all of these things in the opposite gender. That relationship in itself, let's leave the drama and all the other issues that are attached to it. The friendship in itself is not wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes. The friendship in itself, as an entity on its own, is not wrong, is not bad. You have not sinned because you have a best friend that is a guy. You have not sinned because you have a best friend as a single lady, as a single person that is the opposite sex. I'm not saying that you're a sinner. No, it is not wrong. That's block number one. Number two, while opposite sex friendships in themselves are not wrong, they are often mismanaged. All right. It's just like when I was talking about forgiveness, I talked about anger as an emotion. And I said a lot of the times we will group an emotion like anger under in as a negative emotion, right? But anger in itself as an emotion is not a negative, it's not a bad thing to be angry. But I said that is because we don't manage anger well. And then it pushes us to do bad things. That's why we think anger is a bad feeling. I don't know if you get me. Anger is not a bad feeling. If somebody crosses a boundary, you're going to get angry because they shouldn't have done whatever it is they did. All right. So anger is like that alarm system that goes off and says, no, you can't do this. You can't do this to me, or you can't cross that boundary with me. No, this is not acceptable. That's anger. It's not a bad feeling. If you cannot be angry when you are disrespected, then you not rate yourself. All right. You don't have self-respect. You don't have good self-esteem. When you rate yourself well and somebody, wants to walk all over you, you're going to get angry. Now it is how you manage that anger. That is what, a lot of us don't manage anger well. And so we break stuff. We say words we're not supposed to say. And then anger now looks like a bad guy. Whereas we are the bad guys that didn't manage our anger well. That is what I'm saying. It applies also to this same male and female bestie situation. In itself, as a friendship, it is not wrong. But because a lot of the times it is not, or they are not managed properly, all right, a lot of negative things come out from them. And so everybody, or generally, it is seen as negative. That's my point. All right. A lot of the times it is not managed properly. Why is it not managed properly? Number three that I'm going to say, opposite sex friendships are not managed properly or are mismanaged a lot of the time because it takes a high level, a very high level of physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional discipline to keep them purely platonic. So when I say platonic, we have relationships that are platonic, we have relationships that are romantic. When we say romantic relationships, we know what romantic relationships are. So a romantic relationship between a man and a woman, there's love, there's affection, they have feelings for each other, if they are married, there's sex. Romantic relationship, there's kind gestures, mutual commitment towards one another. That's a romantic relationship, all right? But a platonic relationship, yes, there's affection, there's kindness, there's all of those things, but nothing romantic going on, nothing sexual happening, nothing along the lines of, none of that. It's just platonic, it's just simple, it's just basic, right? I'm saying that a lot of the times, this male and female bestie situation, a lot of people, they don't handle it well. Why? Because it takes a high level of discipline to keep it purely platonic. All right. Now, a lot of if I should ask people now, right now, that, oh, are there male and female relationships that are purely platonic? The answer is yes. Yes, I've seen it. There are other people. In fact, you will get into my comment section now and say, ah, yes, I've seen it happen. All right. That something is difficult doesn't mean it's impossible. I'm saying that a lot of people don't manage it well. So it's very rare to see a male and bestie, I mean, a male and female bestie situation where, nothing is happening. It's very rare. But even as rare as it is, I'm saying it exists. Okay. However, it's not common. What is common is to see a lot of people doing rubbish in the name of male and female bestie. That's what I'm trying to say. But because it is rare doesn't mean that, it doesn't exist. It actually exists. There are people who are disciplined enough to keep the relationship purely platonic, but it is difficult. Why is it difficult to keep a male and female bestie relationship purely platonic? Why is it difficult? It is difficult because the process it takes, this is block number 4 now that I'm saying, or point number 4. It is difficult to keep a male and female bestie relationship purely platonic because the process it takes for someone to become your best friend is similar to the process it takes for someone to become your spouse. Now, here's where I'm going to. Before you say somebody is your best friend, what did you see in that person? Care. So maybe you were sick and then they showed up for you, they took you to the hospital, fed you, they took care of you like you were their blood. When you say somebody is your best friend, what did you see? They came through for you somehow. They support your goals, your purpose, your vision, your assignment. They help you. Sometimes you are broke, they give you money. When you say somebody is your best friend, there are levels of commitment you have seen in this person to say, okay, this is my best friend. They have touched certain thresholds, of you. They have touched your heart somehow. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Now, when you also say somebody is, you're looking at somebody and saying, okay, this one can become my spouse. What did you also see in that person? I'm trying to say that the things you see in somebody that you say, oh, this is my best friend, they are very similar to the same things that you see in somebody and say, this one I can marry, I can spend the rest of my life with this person. I'm trying to say the road you will pass to make somebody your best friend is that same road, is very similar to that road you will pass and say, okay, this person will become my spouse. It's very, very similar. Okay, sorry, Kinkal, you're not from India. Okay, I thought you were from India when you said namaste. Apologies. All right. So it's the same road. Yes, because you will touch on all these things. Is it care? Care is in best friendship. Care is in, relationship with somebody you want to marry. Is it affection? It occurs in both relationships. Is it communication? It occurs in both relationships. All right. So the only difference between, oh, this person is my best friend and then this one is somebody that I can marry is, where you choose to stop or the limit you put and say, okay, as a best friend, I'm putting the limit here. I can't go beyond this point. But with somebody you want to marry, you will go beyond that point. I don't know if you get me. I'm just trying to say that the same process it takes, the things you will see in somebody and say, this one can be my best friend, they are very similar to the things you will see in somebody and say, this one I can marry. So you see, it's a very, they are close. Your best friend or someone you can call as your spouse, they are almost on the same pedestal. That's what I'm trying to say. They're almost on the same level. It's just, a marriage, or yes, marriage is just like a bit higher than best friendship. Because actually, the person you want to marry, you will see that friendship inside that person. All right, let me not overflow the issue. I believe you have gotten what I want to say. Now, in opposite sex friendships that are platonic, mm, now we are saying, oh, that it is possible for a man and a woman to be best friends, and then, nothing sexual is happening, nothing shady is going on. They are not, just being irresponsible and doing things they shouldn't. it's possible to keep friendship platonic. Now, when we say platonic, or in friendships that exist like that, let's really look into such friendships. Let's see what goes on in such friendships. All right. Now, I believe that even though male female bestie relationship, yes, there are certain people that keep it platonic in the sense that they are not doing anything, you know wrong or sexual or anything like that. Hmm? A lot of the times, if we want to be honest, there is a level of attraction that is either present, hmm, or there was a level of attraction that was present in that relationship. But then, because one or both parties wanted it to be platonic, they did not act on that attraction. I hope you got me. I'm saying even though a male and a female are best of friends, and yes, they are not having sex, there's no extra thing in code that's going on. They are saying, oh, I don't have feelings for this person, I don't have feelings for this person. I'm saying at one point in time or the other, if we want to examine that relationship, there is or there was attraction at some point. This one, I will not, or rather, let me just say it's my opinion. Let me not make it a doctrine or something, but that is what I believe. You are a lady, you are best of friends with a guy. If you want to be honest, at some point you have fancied that person. You have had some level of attraction towards that person. But because either both of you have sat down to say, okay, this is our friendship, oh, you have clearly defined it. So you do not act on the attraction. It's one thing to say, I don't have feelings at all. And it's one thing to have feelings, but you are not pursuing those feelings. You're not acting on those feelings. I don't know if you get me. So a lot of this bestie, the guy is my bestie, the girl is my bestie. I'm saying that yes, sex is not happening, but it doesn't mean that feelings are not present. Feelings are present, or feelings were present at some point, but because they were not acted upon, they didn't do anything about those feelings. They just let the feelings, they just faded. They just fizzled out. Or maybe they sat down to discuss and say, look, we are best of friends. Let's not ruin it. I'm not looking for anything more. The guy says, me too, I'm not looking for anything more. We are just friends. It's either they have sat down to have those hard conversations about the friendship, and then they are now mutually clear. All right. It's either that has happened. Okay. So a lot of the time when we say, oh, these two people can be best of friends and nothing is going on, I'm saying that to me, oh, I feel that there is a level of attraction that is present or that was present, but it is not, that attraction is not being acted upon. If it's somebody you want to marry, you can now act on that attraction and then take it a step further and say, okay, I would like to ask you out to be my girlfriend, or to be my fiance, or to be my wife. You're getting it, right? Okay. So, in fact, in a lot of these male female best friend situation, sometimes one person is even making advances. One person is making advances, like they want to take it a step further, but the other person is not interested. So they turn down their own, they just switch it off like a bulb and say, okay, I try to make this person, more than my friend, but they are not interested. So let me. I'm just trying to say, if we dissect male and female best friend issues, this bestie matter, feelings they make we no lie, make we no form, make we no pretend. Feelings they or feelings don't dey before, but we no pursue the feelings. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Now, when do we need to be careful? For me, I would anyway, let me not talk about that. Let me just stick to what I have here. Like I said, it's a broad conversation. Okay. Now, you are best friends with a lady. You say, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't even have feelings for him. I don't have feelings for her. And this person is actually your good friend. All right. They're helping you, you are helping. The friendship is one that you don't want to lose. Remember, I said both of you are not in, you don't have a partner, they don't have a partner. The both of you are best of friends. All right. You're not doing anything wrong. And the friendship is something that you cherish. It's something that you treasure. It's something that you value. is something you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose it on the note that just because is somehow to be best of friends with a guy. I don't want to lose this friendship. It's not about the guy now, it's about the friendship, what the friendship is doing for you. You don't want to lose it. I hear. But then there are some things I want to let you know or let you understand. You know, you need to have these things at the back of your mind if you want to keep male and female bestie. You have told yourself now, I no want lose this friendship. Oh, I'm saying I don't hear you, no problem. But let's talk about some certain things inside that friendship. Number one, you need to be careful. I tag this points that I'm going to give now. When to be careful inside your male and female bestie situation. What are the signs that I see that I need to be careful? Number one, when you start desiring to take that friendship a step further and the feeling is not mutual, but you find yourself forcing things to work. Now, let me say this, it is not all best friendships or relationship with your best friend or amongst relationship among best friends. It is not all relationship between best friends that will make great marriages. The fact that you are best of friends doesn't mean that you be a good couple. Yes, friendship is one factor, is something that anybody that's going to get married should achieve with their partner. Even before marriage, you should be good friends. Even if not best friends, but good friends. You should have a good friendship with the person that you intend to marry. All right. But I'm saying that the fact that you are good friends or best of friends with somebody is not does not automatically mean that that person will make a good spouse for you. There are friendships that should just remain as friendships. I don't know if you've seen this movie. Is on Sonia Uche's TV on YouTube here. The title of the movie is Undeserving. You need to watch that movie. I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts. You need to watch that movie. The fact that you are good friends doesn't mean that you make a good couple. That's my point. Don't force it to work. Okay, you've made advances. You say, okay, this person, you've been my best friend since childhood. You've been my best friend since we're five. You've been my best friend since the university days. I want to take it a step further. And the person is saying, no, yes, undeserving. Thank you, Chukwebuka. Undeserving, that's the name of the movie. You need to watch it. You need to watch it. So you've made your mind known, either directly or indirectly. You are giving the person green light, blue light, yellow light, all the lights. And the person is not really, they are not feeling you, they're not into you, but then you are finding out that you are forcing yourself to make things work. You need to be careful. Yes, remember I'm saying that if this male and female bestie situation, you want to go on with it, you don't want to lose the friendship. I'm just giving you certain things to be careful about. When you find yourself struggling to make it work by all means, this person no want, but you want. This person say you ask am, do you do? The person say I no do, and you want make the person do by force. When you find yourself in that state, you need to be careful because the truth is, if you force that person, you will force that person for the rest of your life. When I was younger, our moms would want to get us shoes for Christmas because I was growing up so fast. Sometimes my mom would get me a shoe that's three times, maybe my size at that time is 38. She'll get me a shoe that is 42, something like that. Why? Because she wants me to use it for a long time. And then I put the shoes on and I see that it's oversized, so I have to put paper. You know, we're Nigerian children, let's not form. They'll put tissue paper, put a lot of things inside, right? Just so that we can use it for a long time. God bless our mothers. Just so we can use it for a long time. And people will be looking at our feet, admiring, Sophia's shoe is so fine. But the truth is that I'm the only one that knows that this shoe is oversized. And the only reason why it's looking fine is because I've put tissue inside it. There are many things that are inside to support it. That's how such relationships play out. You will force that person. When you watch that movie, you see what happened. You will try to use pregnancy to trap the person. You try to make it work by all means. You discover that for the rest of your life, that's how you be forcing the relationship. You force them to take you out. You force them to celebrate you on your birthday. In fact, you will organize surprise party for yourself, and then you post it on social media that it's my husband that organized, that bought this cake for me. Oh, it's my husband that did this surprise for me. Now you run everything. Yes, now you run everything. You just only, you just want external validation. And so that's what you'll be doing. See, I believe that life is short. mm? Enjoy it. Don't subscribe to a lifetime of unhappiness. Mm-mm. No. If you are best friends with a guy as a lady, you are best friends with a lady as a guy, and you've tried to make this relationship more than friendship, and the other person is saying, that's not how I see you. You're like a brother to me. You know, past like that. Please leave it away. You will be heartbroken, but it will be for a season. It will be for a moment. See, there's something worse than heartbreak. Is lifelong heartbreak, continuous heartbreak. There's one time heartbreak. You know, when you're doing data, you have auto renewal, you have one time. There's one time heartbreak. You ask the person and the person says no. Heartbreak. That's one time heartbreak. But you force your way into this person's life by hook, by crook, with pregnancy, with different things. You maneuver, you manipulate, you get into the marriage with this person. Guess what you have? Heartbreak, 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 heartbreak. You go chop heartbreak, so they, eh? You need to watch that movie, Undeserving. Let me stop there. Number two, what do you need to be careful about as a lady or as a guy? You are in friendship with the opposite sex as a best friend. When you say that the relationship is not clearly or mutually defined. Now, there's something I like to point out whenever I talk about this issue of bestie. Hmm? In Genesis chapter 2, when God created Adam, he put him in the garden. Guess what? It was God that looked at Adam. There was no way Adam went to him and said, God, I am lonely in this garden. Please, I need somebody. No. It was God that looked at the man he made and said, no, this man is lonely. This man needs a companion. This man needs a helper. And God made animals first. Read your Bible. God first made animals. And then the Bible says he brought them to Adam to see what Adam would call them. So Adam was the one that named goat as goats. Adam was the one that named sheep as sheep. Adam was the one that named apes as apes, orangutan as orangutan, monkey as monkey. Adam was the one that named them. Now, the Bible says that in all of these animals, there was not one that Adam did not find the one that suited him. And so God made the woman. God made the woman. He did not now bring the woman and say, Adam, take her, this is your wife. No, the Bible says, and he brought her to the man. The same way he brought the animals, that's how he brought the woman too. If Adam had called goat the bone of my bones, that would have been it. It would have been goat that would be the bone of his bones. What am I trying to say? This one is especially to ladies. If a guy should call you big head does not mean that you are his babe. Big head does not mean you are in a relationship with him. You have big head, finish. Let it end here. Big head is big head. If a guy says you are like a sister to me, you are like a sister to him. He may like you may like him, but nobody has said, you've not spoken, he has not said anything. He just likes calling you big head. You will now assume because he calls you big head, you're in a relationship. You are not in a relationship, ma. If he calls you, you are my school daughter, you are a school daughter, ma. If he says, I'm your spiritual father, you are my daughter, that is the limit of that relationship. Somebody's laughing. Yes. If a girl calls you big head, she may like you, but big head does not mean you are in a relationship. Yes, I'm trying to let us understand how these things work. A lot of these male female bestie situations, they are not defined. Somebody is just sitting down assuming that they're in a relationship with somebody else. And the other person is like, you're like a brother to me. Oh, that's the height of, I'm not seeing anything beyond you're like a brother to me. So you need to now be careful. You need to be careful, all right? When you say that the relationship is not defined, this other person is giving you boyfriend vibes. Before you sleep, they will call you and you want to walk from here to the bathroom, they want to escort you. Everything that a boy or a guy you're in a relationship with should do for you, they are doing for you. Yeah, they are not saying anything with their mouths. You need to be careful. Yes, so you need to be careful. What other things do you need to be careful about when entitlement begins to set in? So you are a lady, and there's one thing I believe about ladies. You see, when a lady is in love, she begins to act like a mother. The motherly side of her comes out. So you will even tell her to help you wash the dishes. She'll do it. You won't even tell her, help me cook this. She'll do it. In fact, if you ask her, oh, she will do it with all joy. When she's in love with a man, there's this side of her that comes out. She wants to help make your world very comfortable. She wants to help to manage your space for you. If you ask, she's more than happy to do it. And if you don't ask, she will do it for you anyway, right? Now, when entitlement begins to set in, so a guy is your best friend. Sometimes you help him cook, sometimes you help him clean, sometimes you come to his place, blah, blah, blah. And then the day you don't come, he's calling you and he's shouting, saying, so you never come clean my house. You know, no, say you will come boil rice for me tomorrow. No, entitlement has started setting, am I your wife? The fact that we are friends and I do these things freely, the moment you start seeing entitlement setting in, my sister, you need to be careful. I'm not fully subscribed to this male female bestie issue. That's why I'm giving you these points. Because, like I said, some of you, you have this bestie situation and you feel that it's a relationship you don't want to lose. I've heard you. I'm only giving you guidelines. When you see entitlement begin to set in, things that you do for this person as a friend, suddenly they are being entitled. You didn't wash my shirt. As what? What am I to you? Just because I help you wash it the last time because you were sick, so I should come and wash it in your house again. When you start seeing entitlement, or the lady, maybe you gave her money and then next month comes, she's hoping to get money from as what? When you see entitlement, you need to be careful. Also, what do you also need to be careful about in your male and female bestie situation? When you or them start getting too comfortable with each other. What do I mean by too comfortable? This person, one day, as both of you are walking around, or maybe you go to the person's house, suddenly they are touching you on your bum. Uh-uh. Suddenly they are touching you on your breasts. Uh-uh. Suddenly the girl will just come and sit down on your laps. Eh? They are getting too comfortable. The moment you start seeing that your opposite sex friend is getting too comfortable with you, run. Do, run. Anyway, that's not what I'm trying to say. I don't think you should run, but be careful, all right? Because now, a lot of the times, they will even do these things, and then maybe when they see that you react angry, they say, it's a joke, I'm joking. No, it's not a joke. They are testing your limit. It's psychology. The moment you accept that behavior, it will continue. Yes, they touch you on your breast, and then you laugh, stop it, stop it. The next time, they will touch you too. Stop it, stop it. The next time, they will go somewhere they should not go. They are testing your limits. So the moment they do something and you are like, no, you're getting too comfortable. I don't like that. We are friends, nothing more. So what is this touching? They just come from nowhere, they kiss. How come? Why? They are getting too comfortable with you because you are best friends of opposite genders. Watch it. All right. And I'm saying that if you don't respond appropriately, it will continue. Yes, your response is what will determine if that action will continue or crash. So if you are just very lenient about it, it will continue, ma. They will keep touching you. Yes, and then you now enter Jerusalem. Where you should not enter. You go and enter holies of holies with your sandals in burning bush, please. All right. When should you be careful with your opposite sex best friend? When you, as the best friend, you start seeing in yourself, or you as the other friend, you start seeing this your best friend being jealous of a new person that comes into your life. You see this one, eh? Oh, is ladies, women, come, because we are the ones that have very, very smelling characters. This thing I just mentioned, this jealousy, now yes, it's very difficult to see, a guy and a girl that are best of friends. The girl gets married, and then the guy is still becoming is trying to form, I don't know what to call it now. They are causing drama somehow. It's very rare. Yes, both of you are friends, but the guy easily um I don't see I've not seen a lot of issues arising because of that. A guy and a girl, they are best of friends. The girl gets married. I'm saying the guy understands that, okay, oh, she's now another man's wife. He cuts back on his closeness. you know I don't know if you get it. But you see women, if it's the guy that gets married, you see that girl that is his bestie. Hey, na lie oh, na lie. One of my friends then, when she got married, she told me that one close friend to her husband before they met, he was close to this particular lady. Not best friend now, they were just close friends, maybe from work or something. When they got married, the girl didn't attend their wedding. And then even after they got married, this girl will call her husband in the middle of the night and be crying about emotional issue, relationship issue. Like, and she was like, what is this one? What am I trying to say? You see, ladies, we are the ones that find it very hard to let go when your male bestie gets married. No, you still want to be part of that marriage somehow, somehow. You chook your head. Mm, you want to chook your head. Another one, a lady was like, when she got married, when she and her husband got married, they went to greet one of their friends, or not even greet, they just went to, they were going somewhere. So they passed by her husband's female friend's house. Do you know that this female friend, just went straight to the husband, greeted the husband, was talking to the husband, totally ignored his wife. He didn't even say hi. She bent her head and was like, oh, she wanted to say hi to her husband's friend. She wanted to just greet and, this lady ignored his wife. I was just talking to the man. And then they drove off, they left. And the wife was telling the husband that, did you notice that? She didn't even say hi to me. I was trying to like greet her. She didn't give me audience. She just sidelined me like I wasn't there. I think the thing happened a couple of times. And then the man had to tell his friend that, look, this is my wife. If you cannot respect my wife, we cannot be friends. At the end of the day, that friendship, it died. Because the man was wise enough to say, you cannot put me in a position where I will have to pick between you and my wife. It's not possible. It's not possible. What am I trying to say? A lot of times you still see ladies holding on to their male bestie, even when the male bestie has married. Mm, you still want to imagine a man is married, you're calling him by 11 o'clock to ask, and so have you eaten? What is his wife there for? Mother Teresa, what? Why did he marry a woman? You still want to play bestie roles. That's why I said that it takes a lot of discipline to handle such relationships. Why? Because the things that when you were not married, the things that you did as best friends is the same thing you'll be doing with your spouse now that you're married, right? So you see, ladies, this one now we they do and pass. Let's stop it. Or you are the best friend of a guy, and maybe you happen to be close by, and then the man and his wife they are planning to go somewhere. You always want to be the third wheel. You always want to come along on the journey. Why? Or you see them, they'll even be quarreling the man. Maybe after marriage, they'll say, 1 week you didn't call me. You need to understand that this person is now married. There are a lot of limits to the things you can do. The things you used to do. And in short, you need to be careful of this one. You will now start seeing them being jealous, you know, because now it's like the things they used to do for the guy, they no longer do it for him. So maybe they used to help him cook, they used to help him wash. Now the right person that is meant to do all those things has come and the person is doing it. You start seeing them forming attitude, being angry, being all of that one is jealousy, is envy. But because they don't even know, they don't even understand how they are feeling at that moment. Why? Because you were the closest woman to this guy. Now his own woman, the bone of his bone, the flesh of his flesh has come, and then you are feeling very displaced. If you notice jealousy or envy, just because this your male best friend has introduced the girl to you and say, oh, this is somebody that I want to be in a relationship with, you start noticing that you are angry, my sister. You need to be careful. Yes, so because I've seen it play out a lot of times. Like I said, is women. This one is women. Oh, is they don't want to let go of that male best friend. They still want to do all the things they used to do for him when he was single. Madam, you can't do that. You cannot do that. And I usually tell ladies, you is it that you don't think about what's it called now? You don't put yourself in people's shoes. If you are the one that gets married tomorrow and then your husband used to have a female best friend, would you want your husband's female best friend to be disturbing your relationship or your marriage the way you are disturbing somebody else's own? Everything is a seed. What you don't want somebody else to do to you, you don't do to them. All right. So these are some of the things. If you say, "Oh, I must my male best friend, do I don't want to lose the friendship," I have listed out a lot of things that you need to be careful about. Things that when you see in that your friendship, you have to caution yourself and say, "No, no, 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 no." A man was telling me long time ago when he was engaged to his wife, but they were not in the same location. So he was working in a particular place. His fiancee then, now his wife, but fiancee then was in another location. And so there was this lady, his neighbor, they used to live in the same compound like that. And so, like I said, just harmless, simple friendship. This neighbor would just cook, being that, oh, he's a bachelor, he lives alone. And most bachelors, they don't cook. So this other woman just, the neighbor just felt like, oh, anytime she cooks, she would just dish some for him and say, ah, bro, stay cool. This one, they cook, just take. And then on the basis of food, is this situational friendship? On the basis of food, they now became friends, just neighbor, 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 neighbor. So there was a particular day, according to it was the man that was telling me this. On a particular day, I think he said he was going to visit. Okay, no, they were not in the same compound. She would cook and then bring for him. I think they knew in church, or I can't remember. But on this particular day, he said he was going to visit the lady just to like check on her. They used to visit each other once in a while. Remember, like I said, he was engaged to somebody else, but that person was not in that city. The person lived in another city, right? So he was going to visit this sister that he was close to, the sister that would always cook once in a while for him, they were close like that. And then when he got there, he saw that a bike was outside her house, like meaning that a guy was inside the house with her. He said instantly he felt rage, he felt angry. He felt very angry, and then I think he went into the house. And when he knocked, she opened. This other brother on the bike, or with the bike, I think it was from church too. He just came to visit her or something. And so the lady was like, "Oh, welcome, this and that." Now, the lady didn't have anything in mind. She was just doing her things freely, helping him out, blah, blah, blah. But he said when he saw another man, there in her house, that he felt so angry. And so he just greeted her and then left. And he was going angrily to his own house. He said it was the Holy Spirit that tapped on his heart and said, "Why are you angry?" He said that was when he now called himself to order and said, "Wait a minute. Why am I angry? This woman is not, we are not engaged. We are not in a relationship. Why am I angry just because I saw another man in her house?" He said from that day, he repented. From that day, he said he repented. He had to reduce the volume of that relationship because he now saw that unconsciously he was already attached to this person. So consciously he had to unattach himself or detach himself. That's the correct English word, to detach himself. But emotionally, unconsciously, he just saw this lady that he was close to with another man and he was angry. He was so furious. But the Holy Spirit asked him, he said, asked him a simple question. Why are you angry? What is the basis for is this your wife to be? Are you engaged to her? No, but he was angry. So that's why I said a lot of this male female bestie issue, you can't tell me there's no level of, there are drops, grains of feelings. May we not lie. There's some level of attraction. It's just that you are not acting on that attraction. But to tell me that is not there, not lie, it is that small level of attraction that that will make you to carry out certain sacrifices for that person and not feel it. You can now choose not to act. That's what I'm trying to say. You're not acting on that your attraction, but to deny that is not there, it is there most of the time. All right. So these are some of the things that I want to just touch on tonight about male and female best friend issues. Among single people, a guy is single, lady is single, they are not in relationship, but they are best of friends. If you are going to keep such a relationship, these things I just outlined, look at these things. And ladies, please, a man is not confused about where his heart is. Let me tell you this, a man is not confused. A man knows where his heart is. Oh, don't help a man see you. No. Don't help a man marry you. No. Let him be the one to make that decision. Yes, they will tell us, oh, position yourself. There's nothing wrong in positioning yourself. There's nothing wrong in trying to, dress nice, make him notice you, do what you are supposed to do as a lady. There's nothing wrong. But you see, you want to force a man. A man knows where his heart is. If his heart is with you, his heart is with you. If it is not with you, it is not with you. You need to watch that movie, Undeserving. It explains a lot. There are some men, you see them that, your disposition or your mind is that, this man is so hardened. It's not like that. There's a woman that makes him soft. There's a woman that he sees, and that hard guy, he will calm down. It's just that that woman is not you. Yes, that woman is not you. That's why he's doing hard. There's a woman that he's very soft towards. Don't force that woman to be you. By force, by fire, it must be you. If it's not you, it's not you. A man is not confused. When Adam saw Eve, nobody advised him. He said, "This is the bone of my bone." All right. So don't force it to work. This one is for ladies. We are the ones that easily catch feelings. We are the ones that easily assume that we're in a relationship with somebody, whereas he is seeing you like a sister. All right. So let's be guided. The Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence. So I'm going to end this live here. Like I said, I've broken this whole opposite sex friendship topic into segments. Tonight, we just treated the first segment, which has to do with single people who are opposite best friends. So, the next episode of the Monday Night Live sessions is going to be our 10th episode. Today is episode 9. So, next Monday is going to be our 10th episode. And I'm trusting that it's going to be a wow episode. If it's possible, I would like to maybe bring somebody to be part of it just to mark that 10th episode and make it special. So hopefully we get to talk about this same topic maybe the next episode of the Monday Night Live sessions. That one will be specifically for people who are married or people who are in relationships and yet outside of their relationships or outside of their marriages, they have a best friend. That's the one we're going to look at next episode, or maybe the 11th episode if we're doing something else for the 10th episode next Monday. So until I come your way again, please help me if you have not subscribed. If I catch my streets, if I catch you passing my junction, please subscribe. Help my channel grow. I want to get to 1K subscribers before the end of this year. Please help me subscribe. So I'm sure that, or I hope rather, that this live has blessed you. I hope it has enlightened you in some way. All right. So please give me a like, engage with this, engage, ma. Please engage, sir. And God will bless you. So until I come your way in the next episode, I'm still Sophia Kingsley. You see, I want my YouTube shirt this night because it's war against indiscipline. See red, danger. War against indiscipline. All right. So I'll be ending this live now. Thank you so much for being a part of it. God bless you. Bye. Good night.